Barely 2 months in William Ruto's administration, did you know that 16 policies, projects, and programs that were initiated by former President Uhuru Kenyatta have been reversed? And analysts have questioned whether these decisions are actually politically instigated or they have well thought out economic objectives. But don't you also know that the ground was set for battering of Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy when everything was said that they are actually assuming an economy that was at its deathbed? Welcome to the Bold Analysis. This is the most informative political podcast in Kenya. And I want to also request you that I have a very well researched and thought out analysis for you that you can take a challenge and watch to the end, and kindly like our video and also share this video as we really settle into the gist of this analysis. I want to point out 4 reversals, and these reversals is what is going to give us the direction. Reversal of the port operations and the cargo clearance back to Mombasa from Naivasha was redeeming a political pledge. But even though that was done, 2 months later, we've come to realize that it was a political blunder, because the reality has dawned on Kenya Kwanza that we are actually reducing the revenue stream from standard gauge railway that was supposed to help us repay the Chinese loan. Because the activities at the SGR have gone down, Uhuru Kenyatta had directed a policy that majority of the cargo to be transported, actually all the cargo, onward cargo, to be transported through the SGR. That was reversed. And it has backfired on us that we cannot pay the Chinese loan comfortably. I can tell you that is why the conversation about restructure of the loan to be repaid in 50 years is being floated by the new transport CS Kipchumba Murkomen. And now as we speak, disbursement of the Special Services Unit under the DCI was really seen as a way that William Ruto was intervening to actually address extrajudicial killing. But guys, don't you also see that the latest surge, or rather resurgence in insecurity in different urban centers, is likely being attributed to a police force that is feeling intimidated? And this is a decision that is mostly traced back from what was a policy that was done on SSU. The police are actually feeling there is a perception that they are withdrawing the services from the public. And that is why Raila Odinga is talking about lawlessness. So this is another one that was done, and do know that it has backfired, because all those 9 members of the uniformed police who were actually taken to custody, not any of the cases have seen the light of the day. I am taking a passionate one on Kazim Mtaani. And I want to tell you why Kazim Mtaani has been so dear to me. I know someone even asked me, Kevin, you really speak about Kazim Mtaani. What was so special? Ushaifanya kazi? No. Can I tell you that after it was reversed, there was phase 1 and phase 2 was budgeted for, at phase 2 and phase 3 was budgeted for to cost 5.6 billion. Then it was reversed. The big question is this: when we have restructured government, I have seen Kenya Ports Authority and Kenya Railways Corporation going back to the Ministry of Transport from the Treasury where it was. It was not in Treasury, it was I think under Ministry of Industrialization and Trade somewhere. Then we've also seen Kenya Pipeline being taken back to the Ministry of Energy. We've seen this restructure, and we are also reversing some projects that are already budgeted for. are we getting an account of where those reversals are going for? Phase 2 and Phase 3 of Kazantani was supposed to cost 5.6 billion. This is data in this article. I said that this is one that I should get for you. Ruto moves to undo Uhuru policies. So if you read this article, you'll actually get, it was Sunday Nation, November 8th, Tuesday. It's actually where this story is. You read a host of all those 16 policies that have been reversed by the government of the day. You're not getting an account of what is happening. And while we have done that, things are not working. Now, this is interesting. A story is told of a project in 2014. There was a building, a 56 billion tender that was given to a Chinese contractor to build a second terminal at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Now, what I have even gathered, interestingly, is the contractor was given money, some 4.2 million, I think some startup fee. 75 million was spent on launching the project. Then Uhuru Kenyatta cancelled the tender. Now, that 56 billion from Chinese firm, there are reports that is being revived. 8 years ago. That was before even Uhuru 2, before the 2017 general election. Then the Ruto team are actually reviving. It's one of the biggest projects that now they're saying it's being floated. And all these are coming as we posted before the people that we don't want capital intensive projects. I want to sit back and just ask a question. Are these reversal populist moves, or do they have economic objective? And we will try to put it to a context. I have always asked myself one question. When former President Uhuru Kenyatta is seated somewhere, watching news, seeing the government of the day really crediting everything, every failure, and blaming them on him, while he was part of government, money was even loan that was taken, majority of it paid recurrent expenditure, paying salaries to people who are even part of this government, walikuwa even the previous, most of them walikuwa in the previous government, they're not part of this, and them taking that. Don't you think that Uhuru feels a bit uncomfortable? I'm not responsible for his feelings, but I'm just asking that, don't you think that that is not really what this issue needs? And I want to put it to a context. Kenya Kwanza came in government from a very big fallout between Deputy President and his boss. And there is a likelihood that even because of that fallout, and I've always said that no one ever knew why Uhuru Kenyatta fell out with Deputy President William Ruto. That story has never been told. Maybe it will be told in someone's autobiography. I'm really looking for out the day former President Uhuru Kenyatta is going to launch his autobiography. Maybe that book might appear there, or some minister who was with Uhuru will ever happen to know what exactly happened. And I can tell you, it was never a handshake. I can bet my ancestral land that it was never about the handshake. No. Were it not Charles Keter saying that, look here, this breakup would have been there even without the handshake. So, because of that hate, there is a perception that William Ruto carried the hate into the new administration. And there is a bit of he struggling, trying everything best to show his hate to Uhuru Kenyatta regime. This may not be really, it doesn't really show big difference. But to some extent, this is what might have happened. Why do you think this is here? William Ruto is solving a complex political matrix known as sustaining Mount Kenya worship, Mount Kenya allegiance. And to sustain Mount Kenya allegiance, you must make sure in Kiswahili yuzika Uhuru katika kaburi la sahau. That's it. And let me tell you, Uhuru, current president and our president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has fashioned his policies as new and is trying to his level best to isolate himself from what will be Uhuru mess. And that is why most of these things are being publicized everywhere. If you look at the SSU issue, I don't know what would make it super special for president to say. And William Ruto went to Kericho and said, Mimi mwenyewe niliorder SSU ikuwe disbanded. He said that. So to what extent that will actually come out is something that we need to look out. And President William Ruto just wants to make that isolation, to draw the line that I was not part of Uhuru. And that is why the ground was set that we have an economy that is dilapidated. In the words of Rigathi Gachagua, day one of during the inauguration. And what I personally feel they simply get wrong is defacing Uhuru legacy. Kenya Kwanza, I even remember when Uhuru Ruto came in from Mwai Kibaki regime, they inherited what Mwai Kibaki had achieved. And they laid their foundation. Even at campaigns, they were saying we were laying their foundation on what Mwai Kibaki received, what Mwai Kibaki has done. Now, Uhuru Kenyatta has handed power seamless, peaceful transition. You can take everything away from the son of Muigai, but you will not deny him the credit that he handed over power peacefully amidst a heated political debate that he wanted to stay in power. So, defacing his legacy is well structured that you will see people saying, we want to take Kenya where Kibaki left it. Surely, did Kibaki leave us with SGR? Did Kibaki leave us with Nairobi Expressway? Surely? No. Did Kibaki leave us with the 10,000 kilometers of road that Uhuru Kenyatta did? No. I've always said that there's some things you can't undo. And defacing Uhuru legacy is at the core of everything. That look here, we don't want to show them. Today, Mumias Sugar is active. Imesimama. You've not seen any government official going to Mumias Sugar because that process of reviving was a direct credit of Honorable Raila Odinga and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. It was a handshake product. The company that took over after it was put under receivership by KCB, but they got some investor and it has been revived. You will not see Minister of Trade, Moses Kure, going there to official commissioning of revival of that because it's not their government. Although I saw Kalwali going there. So defacing Uhuru legacy, I think it's wrong for me if you ask me. Just give credit where it's due. Something is here. William Ruto is out to cut Uhuru sympathizers to size. Oh, I should get it. Where is it? I think it's in Check Standard on Monday 2nd, where there was a directive that all tenders cancelled. And there is a new audit. They are auditing all the pending bills. They are going to be paid on who is favorable. I may be wrong. I wish I am wrong on this. I wish mine is just wrong. But this is where we are. There is, and that is why you see like some you know, Mau, is it Mau Road? It's been cancelled. There's some things that people will benefit, and they were already planted there by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. There is a plot to cut them to size. It's being postured as economic recovery, kizungu mingi, covered with to mingi mingi, but the real intention is to cut them to size. I don't want to defend individuals because that was not the good intention of this podcast. Did Uhuru got everything else wrong? Did Uhuru get everything else wrong? Surely. I've always asked this question because that is what we've made to believe. That even on SGR, Uhuru was wrong. On saying lazima ipelekwe to Naivasha, Uhuru was wrong. Did sasa tusiulize, tuonane baadaye, imeisha hapo.